Good afternoon, Framingham State students. My name is Jill Gardosic, and I am the Internship Coordinator in the Career Services and Employer Relations Office at the university. And you have joined the How to Find an Internship virtual presentation. Just to give you an overview of today's presentation, we're first going to cover some items that you would like to address before you're ready to start searching for internships. And I'm going to give you tips, tricks, and solutions of how the Career Services team can assist you in being prepared to search. Then we're going to cover some search strategies that include online technologies in addition to some networking best practices. And then I'm going to turn it over to a wonderful colleague of mine, Manny Gibson, who works in the Office of Diversity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement. And she's going to speak a little bit about the Pathways program here at the university. And then we're going to open it up for some questions. That being said, let's begin. So as I mentioned, there are some things students should consider before applying for an internship, if that's something that you're interested in. I always speak with students about the need for self-reflection. You want to spend some significant time conducting research so that way you're making an informed decision about the types of companies you want to apply to, the types of environments you want to be in, and the types of occupations that are of interest to you. So for example, when you're thinking about work environments, where do you see yourself for an internship? Are you sitting at a desk in a traditional office setting? Do you see yourself traveling, getting in and out of your car, going to multiple locations to conduct your work? Are you outdoors at all? So kind of give that some thought. In terms of companies, there are 3 different work sectors in the United States. There's the private sector that has profitable companies. Think of things like Staples corporate headquarters, the TJX companies, Bose, the MathWorks, so on and so forth. Then there's the nonprofit sector, which instead of buying, making, producing, or selling goods, provides services to community members. Things like the YMCA, Big Brothers Big Sisters, the American Cancer Society, the Alzheimer's Foundation. Those would all be considered nonprofit sector organizations. And then finally, there are government agencies. It could be local in your town, it could be statewide, or it could be at the federal level. Some students have completed internships in government agencies such as the Framingham Police Department, the Ashland Police Department, the Framingham and Natick District Courts, and the like. So you want to give some thought as to the type of company, the type of organization you want to be at. And then again, what occupations interest you? You don't necessarily need to know the ideal job that you'd like to have from now until retirement, but you want to start to narrow the field. Are you interested in marketing, advertising, public relations, corporate communications, human resources? There's a lot of great materials on our website to help you conduct this research. You can link into Focus 2, the Occupational Outlook Network handbook, which is called ONET, and several other services. And also, you can feel free to have a career counseling appointment with any member of our staff to kind of explore these items further. Now we're probably going to get to some things you should consider before you start applying to internships, some which you may have started already, others which may be new to you or you haven't heard of before. The first item we think is vitally important before you're ready to apply for an internship is to make sure you have updated your Handshake profile. Framingham State University has an online job board called Handshake, and this is where positions for internships are posted so that every student has access, can view those job descriptions, and can apply to them directly. You already have a profile that has been created for you. It happened the minute you became a student at the university, but now's the time to do a few updates in case you've changed your major since you began your academic journey at the university. It's going to be critical that every student who's interested in an internship opportunity has a resume, and even better, has had a career counselor in our office conduct a review of that resume. I hear from students frequently that maybe they began a resume in high school, maybe they had a class assignment while they've been at Framingham State, which required them to create a resume, but more often than not, students say, I created a resume, but I haven't updated it in a while. So now's the perfect opportunity to make sure that you have included any current coursework, research projects, part-time jobs, summer jobs, internships, especially technology skills right now, onto your resume. I encourage students that even if they feel their resume is complete, it's done, it's reviewed, you take a few moments to meet with a career counselor to have that resume looked at. Not only can we search for the typical issues that crop up, things like typos, grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, formatting issues. Our real expertise lies in content. Which items are you including? Which have you accidentally left off? And which things might you want to restructure or reposition on the page to catch the attention of an employer? Another item you should consider is creating what's known as a self-marketing pitch. Sometimes it's referred to as an elevator speech. Other times it could be called a 30-second commercial or a 30-second pitch. The idea is to be able to articulate and summarize your skills, education, and experience in about 30 seconds. You're basically highlighting to an employer your unique value over some other candidates that may be applying to the role. And again, all of these items, a career counselor is more than happy to assist you with. Then I have a couple of items that may not have occurred to students. A lot of students are very familiar with Handshake by now. Again, you might have started a resume, maybe you've even started your self-marketing pitch. But what can be very tricky is feeling confident and understanding how to articulate your skills when you're answering interview questions. Normally, students that apply for internships and even entry-level jobs after graduation, they are asked what's known as behavioral-based interview questions. We have 50 years of research that says the best predictor of someone's future performance is based on their past behavior. So for example, if you tend to be cool, calm, and collected in a crisis, the next time a crisis occurs, your behavior, your reactions will be cool, calm, and collected again. That's why some individuals excel at being firefighters and police officers, while others of us would run screaming for the hills. So we can assist you in answering those questions. There's a method to strengthen how you communicate and articulate your skills. And then of course, you want to ask permission of individuals to serve as professional references for you. Typically, these are direct supervisors or managers that can speak to your skills in a workplace or in a volunteer opportunity. Maybe you volunteer at your church, your synagogue, your mosque. at a food pantry or somewhere in the community, and someone has been overseeing your volunteer experience. You want to be able to ask these individuals to be able to give you references for potential internships that you're applying for. And then last but not least, you want to make sure that you have obtained an appropriate interview outfit. And while I understand that during this very challenging time of the COVID-19 outbreak, where there isn't a lot of face-to-face interaction, many interviews are being conducted on the phone, others are being done virtually, like this presentation on Zoom, Google Hangouts. I've even heard of some being done over FaceTime. HireVue is a software platform that some businesses subscribe to conduct virtual interviews. It's very, very important that you still dress appropriately. It conveys maturity, professionalism, that you're taking this opportunity very seriously. And again, you're minimizing distractions in the background and you have a professional background setting. So I would encourage you to think about your wardrobe as well. Once you've taken care of those items, the resume, the marketing pitch, your handshake profile, practicing those behavioral-based interview questions, and even lining up your references, now you're ready to search for internships. And I have some tools and tips on how to go about doing that. We would highly recommend you use Handshake as one of the many tools to search for internships. As I mentioned earlier, Handshake is Framingham State's online job board. Anytime an employer contacts our career services office and they have internship opportunities available, or even part-time jobs, full-time jobs, and work study positions, they're all going to be posted in Handshake, so you can review those positions and apply to them directly. And then we can't stress enough the value of networking, having conversations with individuals that may be able to assist you in learning about and applying to or connecting you to open positions. For example, you may network with your family members, friends, faculty, roommates, classmates, and even neighbors. Something I would highly recommend is talking with your faculty. If they have been teaching at the university for about 10 years or so, those faculty members know 10 years of graduating seniors that are now out in the workforce and could be looking for interns that they will be supervising in their own organizations now. Again, it's very important to be connected and reaching out to your current classmates. Have any of them completed an internship this semester, or maybe last fall 2019? Could they suggest, could they put you in contact with their former supervisor? Can they talk to you about the projects that they've worked on? Now I'd like to turn it over to Manny Gibson. Again, she works in the Office of Diversity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement. I have her information up on the screen for you, and she's going to spend a few minutes talking about the Pathways program at Framingham State University. Manny, whenever you're ready, I'm going to make sure you're unmuted now.
Sorry, I realized that I was not unmuted. Thank you so much, Jill, for allowing me to participate in this presentation. Still learning some of the Zoom technology, but we're getting there. Thanks for allowing Pathways to just present just a few minutes on on the program. So as Jill said, my name is Emanuela Gibson. I'm the Executive Assistant to the Vice President for Diversity, Inclusion, and Community Engagement at Framingham State. And I also oversee the Pathways Internship Program. The program is one that supports unpaid internship and promotes career readiness training. We understand how important it is that exposure to internship opportunities, how important that is to academic engagement and success. So I'm just going to go over a little bit. You can qualify for Pathways internship. You would contact me. There's an application process, and we do look at GPA. Oftentimes our students are coming directly from faculty or from the Career Services Office if they do not qualify for certain other programs. Thank you for the flyer. So essentially the programs is looking at workforce readiness training. So students who are selected to participate in the Pathways internship program have to complete a certain amount of hours of workforce readiness. So you would make your appointment with Career Services, which we partner and collaborate with. And you would go over 4 main criteria, and that's resume critique, mock interviewing, networking strategies, and workplace etiquette, which Jill covered much about in her presentation. And as she said, we understand with COVID, there's new virtual ways of approaching these things, and we're grateful for those opportunities that have been put in place. Please work with Career Services on establishing those. Most of our students obtain faculty approval, and they get a credit a course credit that goes with their internship. So, so that's just a little bit about Pathways, and I think what's most appealing is that it does provide funding for internships that are often unpaid. Thank you so much, Jill.
Well, thank you so much, Manny. And again, we're thrilled to be able to partner with your office. And for students who are interested in the Pathways program, and even just partnering in Career Services, remember that during this remote working time, all of the career counselors, including myself, are available for virtual career counseling appointments. Simply log into your Starfish account and navigate to the Career Services and Employer Relations Office page, and you can schedule an appointment any day of the week at your convenience. Thank you, Manny, and thank you everyone for joining us on our presentation today. This concludes the How to Find an Internship virtual presentation. Hopefully you'll look on our website to find additional virtual presentations which will be delivered daily throughout the rest of the spring 2020 semester. Thanks again and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Yay. Oh, I can see you now, Val.